Today on Camp Outside, we're going to do a review on the Penn Battle IV LE combo, spinning rod and reel combo. Awesome little combo from Penn. Let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Today we're doing a review on the Penn Battle IV LE combo, spinning reel and rod from Penn. And guys, I just went fishing with this not too long ago and really enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, probably by the time you see this video, this will have gone fishing several times. And I did a review on the reel, guys. So I did a review on the Penn Battle IV reel, and I'm going to put a link right up here where you can check out that video. And one of the things in that video is you'll see video of actually this combo in action fighting fish. So I'm not going to duplicate that. I'm going to try and keep this video a little shorter. So if you want to see the rod and reel in action, definitely check that out, and then check out the reel review. I'm not going to get too much into the reel today. I really want to talk more about the combo and the rod than just the reel. So if you want info on the reel specifically and the Penn Battle IV lineup, definitely check that out, right? I'm going to try and focus more on the rod and not the reel. One thing I do want to mention, guys, is MSRP on the reel is $150, $149.95, at least for the 3000, which I've got right here. The combo, this is the 3000 combo, right? The price is $199.99, which means there's a difference of $50 between just buying the reel and buying the combo. So we're going to talk about that because I think that plays a role in your decision making about whether or not to get this combo, whether or not it's right for you. Okay, so let's just talk about options for a minute. So in this Penn Battle IV LE spinning rod and reel combo, you can get reels from 2,500 to 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 to 6,000 to 8,000 size. Right? The rods can be anywhere from 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, or 10 feet. And they do have an option of 1-piece or 2-piece rods in some sizes. So in the 2-piece options, you can get a 4,000 size reel with a medium rod that's a 2-piece. You can get an 8-foot rod, a 9-foot rod, or a 10-foot rod that are all 2-piece rods. There's no 1-piece 8, 9, or 10-foot rods. And those are all medium heavy or heavies with 5,000, 6,000, or 8,000 reels, right? So I just want to get that out of the way. What I'm talking about today is primarily flats fishing rods, inshore rods for snook, redfish, trout, flounder, that kind of thing. That's really kind of what I'm focused on here. And this rod specifically is the 3000 size reel with a medium light rod. So this rod is a 7-foot rod, and it has a line rating of 8 to 15 pounds. Now you can get a medium light combo with a 2500 reel that has a line rating of 6 to 12 pounds. And as I said in the Spin Fisher combo review I did, which you can check out right here, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if it's the same rod and the line rating is just different because of the reel they put on it, or if it's actually a different rod. So I'm hoping to get a handle on a 2500 size rod and reel combo to see if it's the same rod or if it actually is indeed a different rod. But I chose the 3000 size because that's one of my favorite sizes for flats fishing in Florida. And I did want that 8 to 15 pound line rating because I think I've actually even spooled this up with 15 pound Berkley X9 braid with a 20 pound fluorocarbon leader, which I really like for my inshore flats fishing. Sometimes I'll pare down, right? On some of my lighter setups, I'm fishing a 10 pound test with a 15 pound leader. And I'll even go down to 10 pound leader when the water is really clear. And sometimes I'll fish monofilament, sometimes I'll fish fluoro. As a matter of fact, there's some really interesting studies going on from the Salt Strong guys who are testing fluorocarbon versus monofilament for abrasion resistance and strength and strength when it's wet and all these things. And what they're finding is that monofilament is doing better than fluoro in most of those tests, which is really interesting. So it's got me fishing a lot more monofilament leader than I ever have before, but I still have a lot of fluorocarbon leader laying around the house. So I just kind of use whatever I have. And, for the most part, I'm doing okay. Typically, if I lose a fish because it's worn through the leader, it was a really big fish or a really toothy fish, and so they cut the leader with their teeth. And I don't necessarily think that mono or fluoro would have made a difference in that case. But as I move forward, I'll probably buy a whole lot less fluoro and a whole lot more mono. So Kevin, you got off on a tangent. Let's get back to the combo. Okay, so with this rod specifically, you know, in the 7-footers, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guides and a tip for 8 total guides. And these are those Penn, is it Duratough or Duratech? I can't remember what they call it. Let me check. They call it Dura guides, the Penn Dura guides. And they are a one-piece stainless steel guide. And I like one-piece guides because you don't have to worry about popping out the inserts. These guides are, I would say they're okay, right? I've seen guides that are definitely better. I've definitely seen guides that, you know, perform a little better with the line flow going through the guides. This first guide is smaller than I would have expected, but for the most part, I didn't have any problems, right? So I don't really have any complaints with the guides. I just would say that it's an average component, right? Let's talk about the blank. So the blank is a graphite composite blank. That typically means that it's a mixture of graphite and fiberglass. That adds strength and durability, but it does reduce sensitivity. And it also adds weight. Fiberglass adds weight to a rod. All in all, guys, I think this is a pretty good rod blank for its price, right? As I said before, if you buy the reel, you're gonna spend $150. If you buy the combo, you spend $200, which means there's a difference of $50. I would put this rod up against other $50 rods, right? It's not spectacular. It's not, you know, going to perform as well as a $150 or $200 or $250 rod, but it does perform pretty well, and I've been pretty pleased with it for its price point. Some other things that I really like about it, guys, are the wind grips. So I'm usually a cork guy, but I have a lot of rods that are EVA foam, and I have a couple of rods that have this wind grip. And just so you can see it, it's kind of like the stuff that they put on golf clubs. As a matter of fact, I think that's where Wind got started, was either golf clubs or tennis rackets. I can't quite remember. But what's great about this is your hand really grips this, especially when it's hot and your palms are sweaty, or it's your hands are wet because, you know, you just handled a fish, or you were just, you know, putting bait on the hook or whatever, and your hands are wet. You get a really good grip. The reel seat is good. It's not ergonomic, but it's good. It doesn't really, you know, bother me that much. There is no description on Penn's website as to who makes the reel seat, so I'm guessing it's just Penn's reel seat. It does have a split grip. It does have wind grips at the end, which is different than the Fierce combo, which only has EVA foam. So I do like the split grip. I fish rods of both types. Some people don't like the split grip. Some people want a full grip. Some people don't like this when they sit it in a rod holder because it gets caught on the rod holder when they take it out. At least that's what they say. I've never had that problem. I put rods in rod holders all the time, but maybe that's just because it's the type of rod holders I have on my boat. I don't mind split grips versus full grips, but you can buy a Battle combo that has the full grips. So you don't have to buy the LE version. This is the LE version, right? And I think that combo is actually a little less expensive as well. So if you like full cork grips, buy that combo instead. This rod has a hook keep. So I always like that. Never hang your hooks on the guides, either on the guide frame, or if it has a hook keep, use the hook keep. It's always the best for it. Few specs on the Penn Battle IV, right? They do have the HT100 drag system. It does have a braid-ready spool. It has a 5+1 sealed stainless bearing system. So, you know, 5 ball bearings and a roller bearing. It has instant anti-reverse. Really, really nice reel. I really, really like it. Line capacity on this specific rod, which is the 3000 reel in the medium light, is 360 yards of 15-pound braid, 260 yards of 20-pound braid, and 185 yards of 30-pound braid. So I'm running 15-pound Berkeley X9, as I said before. So I put backing on this reel. So it's backed with monofilament and then tied with braid. Even though it's a braid-ready spool, you don't need to put that much braid on an inshore rod, guys. You're not going to use that much line, at least most likely not. If you ever get spooled by a big fish, yeah, you know, but, you know, would you rather lose 300 yards of braid or 150 yards of braid? I'd much rather lose 150 yards of braid because braid is expensive, right? So you can save money on braid by backing with monofilament and then loading up the rest of the spool with braids. So that's what I recommend that you do. I happen to have a regular Penn Battle combo here, so let's compare the two. So here is the Battle LE, which you can see is that kind of gunmetal gray with the wind grips and split grips. Here's the Penn Battle combo, and this is also a 3000 size reel, and it's also a medium light fast action 8 to 15 pound line. And as you can see, it has the full cork grips, right? Nice rod. It feels very similar to the LE. I think primarily the difference is just in the grips. And guys, this one still has the tag on it. You know why? Because I'm giving this one away. So spoiler alert to anybody from my fishing club who's watching, we do an end of year party where different companies bring in stuff and raffle them off, right? Where you can buy raffle tickets, and it's a great fundraiser for the club. This year, Kemp Outside is putting together an awesome prize pack with a Plano tackle bag, a Penn Battle reel and rod. We're doing a Ugly Stick travel rod, an Abu Garcia reel, line, a full set of Berkeley fishing tools, all kinds of good stuff, and some Kemp Outside swag. So, if you're local to the Brandon, Florida area, you probably should join our O'Brien's Fishing Club. We meet the second Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. at O'Brien's Irish Pub in Brandon. Come check it out, learn some skills for saltwater fishing, and if you are there towards the end of the year, now you have to come, you can't just show up on prize night. You have to be a member of the club and come, the rest of the months. But Kemp Outside is giving away or raffling off this rod as a fundraiser for the club. So I'm super excited to do that. That's why it's got the tags on it. I'm even not gonna fish with it, guys. I'm gonna leave it in its brand new state so that whoever wins this raffle gets to fish with it for the first time. So I'm super excited about that, but it's great to be able to compare the LE to the standard version. I like them both. Really, the question is, which one do you want? Do you want the full cork grips, or do you want the wind grips and the split grip? That is the difference at this size. I do know that in the LE version of some of the bigger rods, they do have full grip. I think they're EVA foam though. So just be aware of that. So guys, let's talk about when to buy a combo versus when to just buy the reel, right? And so, as I said before, this is not an inexpensive reel. At $150 for a reel, like I always say, if you're going to spend more than $100 on a rod or reel or something like that, you should expect it to perform. It should be a high performance item. And I think the Penn Battle IV reel is a good performer at that price. I think it's an excellent saltwater reel. And I think that if you maintain it, it's going to last a long time. Let's talk about the rod. So the rod is what I would put in the $50 class, right? Because that's the difference between the price of the combo and the price of the reel is $50. And based on what I see, it's a really nice $50 rod, a really nice $50 rod. But depending on what you want to do and the type of fishing you want to do, it might not be the rod for you. In which case, I recommend buying the reel and buying a different rod. So what case is that? Well, I fish a lot of artificial bait on the flats, which means I'm casting a lot and I'm looking for casting distance. And I really like a 7.5 foot rod for casting distance, getting my bait away from the boat, away from spooking the fish so that I can get more hookups and land more fish. None of the combos that Penn sells, they sell in a 7.5. And so that is kind of a bummer to me. I would like a little bit longer of a rod. The other thing that I will say is that rods of higher price points, now I'm talking $150, $200, $250 rods, right? I'm talking about higher end rods. They have better guides. They are lighter weight. They're more sensitive. Durability is questioned, right? Because typically the less fiberglass they have, the less durable they are, right? But they are at least more high performing in terms of sensitivity, weight reduction, castability, right? So just stating that categorically. If you are using this rod to toss out chunked bait, live bait under a float, you're not really so much worried about casting distance, you're fishing bridges, you're fishing structure, that kind of thing. You don't need all the stuff that I was just talking about, right? So there are cases where getting a really good solid reel that's going to perform well for a long time in saltwater and the rod it comes with is the perfect choice, right? And I would use this setup a lot for bridge fishing, for structure fishing, for for live baiting, for chunk baiting. I would use this rod and reel setup just as it is for that, and that's probably what I'm going to do with it most. When I'm out fishing the flats and casting distance matters, this is not the rod I would recommend. And I'm going to say that for all of my Penn combos. So I hope I'm not spoiling it where you don't watch those videos, but that's what I'm going to say pretty much across the board with these Penn combos, is that the most value in the combo is in the reel, right? The most money is in the reel, not the rod. And when you're flats fishing, I think more money should be in the rod than the reel, right? So that really is up to you to decide what kind of fishing you're doing and what you want. Now, the other thing I will say is that when you're just starting out, and depending on the type of fishing that you're going to do, if you want to invest in a good reel, Penn puts out a really good rod for their combos. They are really good rods. They're just not high-end, super high-end rods, right? So I would have no problem fishing this all day, right? And as a matter of fact, this rod's going to go on my boat a lot. I'm going to fish with this combo just as it is a lot, right? It's going to get a lot of fishing. So I don't have anything against it. What I am saying is that don't assume that because you're buying a Penn Battle reel that you're pairing it with a really high-end rod like a G. Loomis or a St. Croix or a Fenwick Elite or some of those other ones, even some of the higher end rods in Penn's arsenal, right? This is a rod specifically made to provide a rod with the reel so that people can just go fishing right out of the box. And it's not a bad way to go. It just might not be the best way to go depending on whether or not you want to fish with something like this or a rod that's a little higher end. So just wanted to be clear and upfront on that. Hopefully that helps you. Guys, I'm going to put affiliate links below to both the reel and the combo so that you can pick which one you want. And I'm going to put a link to the Penn Battle combo that has the full grip so that you can choose which one is right for you and go that route. Guys, they are affiliate links, which means if you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support Camp Outside. So I get a little commission on the sale, and it's greatly appreciated if you use my links. But hey, guys, if you want to go test these things out before you buy them, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's and other fishing gear stores have these in their stores, so you can feel them and all that stuff and go that route as well. Guys, if you have any questions about the Penn Battle combo or reel, drop some in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, or you can connect with me on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or my website at campoutside.com. One of the things we do, guys, is these gear reviews because we want you to make an informed decision when you're out there buying gear, especially if you're trying to buy gear to go fishing with your family. See, Camp Outside exists to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. So if you have any questions, definitely drop something below or connect with me. Or stop me if you see me out camping or fishing or at the boat ramp or whatever. I love to talk outdoor stuff, so definitely come by and say hi. I usually have Camp Outside stickers on me, so if you see me, ask for a sticker. I'd be happy to give you one. We don't charge for stickers; we give them away for free at Camp Outside. So we'd love to do that. And oftentimes, guys, if I see a sticker on something, I give gear away. So if I see my sticker out in the wild, might mean you get some Camp Outside swag or some gear or something I might have in the van. So it pays to have a Camp Outside sticker. So guys, if you have any questions, definitely drop something below. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. We got a whole lot of fishing content coming out in 2025, a whole lot of camping content. We're just going to keep right on rocking in 2025. We're celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year. We're super excited about that. We're just going to keep on keeping on. So if you enjoy outdoor content, hang right here at Camp Outside. Pun intended, we hope this is a place that you guys camp out. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.